Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a good night last night. Alright, so we got a really big mover in AXON. You can see this one's gapping up a huge amount with really big volume, all the way up to 300,000. In pre-market, it's gapping up from 175 all the way to the 350s where it's sitting now. And so a really big move for this one. Definitely going to be watching this one. Another one that's moving I had on my watch list from last night is VBLT. This one's gapping up from about 215 to 275. Looks like possibly a higher float stock. And so I'll have to check back on this one, but it is gapping up some. Another one I'm keeping an eye on is SIG, which is Signet Jewelers. And you can see it's gapping up from 44.15 all the way to 48.50. So a really big move here. In pre-market as well. Also keeping an eye on IFON. It's not as big of a move, but it is gapping up some from 334 to 390, and so I will watch this one as well. There's a few other ones I'm keeping an eye on. I'll go ahead and add my watch list to the chat really quick, and then I'll go over the rest of them. Alright, so here's my watch list thus far today. I'm still kind of looking around, like always. But yeah, AXON, that thing's going crazy. What's up, Unknowns? Where you been, man? Good to see you, bro. Bashar, good morning. Seven, good morning. Soul, good morning. Alright, so now that I have my watch list included, I'm also keeping an eye on NCS. It could use a little bit more volume, but it is gapping up from 1940 all the way to 2090. I appreciate the sub, Callie. Welcome, man. Appreciate it. Another one I'm looking at is MEIP. Gapping up from 415 to 450 where it's sitting now, right at the $0.50, and so I'm watching this one as well. SNES is another one I'm keeping an eye on. It's moving some in pre-market. It's technically gapping down 2 cents, but it's moving in an interesting way, and it may be overextended. It had a big day yesterday, so I might look at it to short or long, depending on the strength that looks in either direction. Another one is AMBA. Big gap down last night from 50.57 all the way to 44.10. And so I'm definitely watching this one. Maybe for a low of the day short if it breaks under this low right here. We'll see. Another one I'm watching is BLNK. Although this one needs some more volume for me to want to get involved with it. It's at 641 now. And then the last one is CODX here. This one's had a crazy few days. Yesterday it gapped up, and today it dropped in pre-market just under that whole $1.05. If it holds that $5 area as resistance, I'll think about getting in with a short maybe. So we'll see how this one goes as well. And yeah, that's my watch list for today. What's up, Missouri? It's been a while since I've seen you as well, man. Good morning, Eric. Good morning, Sean. Tiny. Oh, man, that's rough, Unknowns. Sorry to hear that, bro. Sounds very realistic as well. But yeah, man, good to see you back, man. Alright, so looking at a few other stuff. Give me a second. I'm still kind of watching. Looking around, see if I can find anything else here. Let's see, EKSO maybe. No, don't really like it. CLRB is one I missed. This one's gapping up from 92 to 124. And it went all the way up to 156. It has a lot of volume for a stock in pre-market, so I'll definitely keep an eye on CLRB. First, let me see if any of these are actually tradable. I know AXON should be, so I can trade AXON. VBLT is tradable as well. That's good to see. It's a higher float stock. A lot of times those are tradable. SIG is tradable. CLRB is not tradable, unfortunately, and neither is IFON. But NCS is not either, which is strange. It's a $20 stock. MEIP is tradable. SNES is tradable. AMBA is tradable. BLNK is tradable. And CODX is tradable. Okay, so that is two out of 10 stocks are not tradable this morning. The rest, 8 out of 10 are tradable, so that's always good to see. The ones that aren't tradable are CLRB and NCS, unfortunately, but everything else on my watch list is tradable, so that's always nice. Like I said, I'm still kind of looking to see if I can find anything else. Fate, JONE, MYO. MYO is gapping up some, and it is tradable, so maybe I'll watch MYO in replacement of these other ones that haven't been moving, that are not tradable. I'm definitely watching AXON for a possible short, just because it's up so much already, but we'll see. Gotta let it work a little bit. Looking at some down gappers right now. AMRH continues to fall here after a big down day yesterday. Still not tradable on TradeNet though. That's a bummer. Sogo. I had a losing trade on this one yesterday. I didn't really like it, but it's gapping down some. SDT, IMGN. SDT looks okay. You see SDT had a crazy day yesterday. Can't trade it. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll stick to one of those other stocks I was looking at. We'll see how that works. I know, man. I know unknowns. Yeah, that's the first one I looked at, man. Meryl, so I know 7. I was just thinking that yesterday. Where'd Dog go? I wonder if his kid was born, man. Well, I have to all give him a big congratulations if he comes back in here and had his kid. Good morning, Marty. What's up, man? Morning, Mitch. Meryl, so some aren't tradable just because I think TradeNet is more based around higher cap stocks, basically more expensive stocks. And so a lot of times you'll see, especially the low float penny stocks are not tradable. Now at the same time, I'm pretty sure AXON is a low float penny stock, so it's tradable. So I mean, there's always going to be some stocks that aren't tradable on any broker. And in TradeNet's case today, there was 2 stocks out of my watch list that I can't trade. So I mean, it happens, but it's not that big of a deal. Some days are better than others, and again, some days are worse than others, and so it all just depends. Some days half my watch list isn't tradable. Some days my entire watch list is tradable. So nice, Mitch. Hey man, I wish I could be having as good as luck or as good as results as you had, Mitch. I gotta tweak my trading style, I think. Last week was a great week. Last week, when I was using my old account, I had 3 out of 4 profitable days. And then this week, I think it's just our trading styles are different. Last week I had 3 out of 4 profitable days. Monday, Tuesday, and Friday were all profitable. Or I don't know which days were profitable. It might have been Monday, Thursday, and Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday were all profitable. Wednesday was not. Maybe Wednesday was profitable. I don't know. I had 3 out of 4 profitable days last week. And then this week, I just can't seem to get it together. So I don't know. Maybe my trading's moody. Sometimes I do better than others. Yeah, no worries, Mitchell. You think Axon will go higher? Yeah, we'll see. Usually when a stock's gapped up this much, I'm more short biased with it. But it's almost definitely a pump. And so, you never know with pumps. They could keep getting pumped up. They could keep going higher. So we'll see. Usually I'm short biased with stocks like that. But, we'll see what happens. All right, so let's look up the news for some of these stocks. First, I'm looking at AXON. Having this really crazy big push up here. Let's see. It says AXON. is up almost 60% in pre-market. It reported that it secured the exclusive worldwide rights to develop and commercialize OXB 102. That's basically a gene therapy for Parkinson's from a bio company called Oxford Biomedica. And so basically it acquired worldwide rights to develop and commercialize a bio drug. So interesting to see. It's up a huge amount from 175 to 363. So we'll see if it can keep going higher. The next one I'm looking at is VBLT. If you're looking on the chart, it's the top right chart on my screen. And let's see why it's moving. Also, before I go over this, look, you can see SNES is making this spike here. You can see SNES spiking back up to 190, testing, those highs and pre-market. Anyway, so back to VBLT. All right, so VBLT is showing positive MOSPD2 platform tech data. And so basically, it presented positive data on its MOSPD2 program, which is Oncology and Inflammation, at the 2018 Bio International Convention in Boston. So basically, good results in a study for its drug on VBLT, and it's up to 280 in pre-market and after hours. Look at SNES here. As I'm talking about this, you can see this spike coming. It broke this previous high right here. It's testing the complete pre-market and after hours high of 195. This one looks interesting, a small gap. We'll see how this one works. I guess I'll look this one up now, see if it has any news, which is SNES. Yeah, so it just had news come out 2 minutes ago on SNES. And so basically, it regained compliance with NASDAQ rules, apparently. Yeah, so it announced that it received a letter from the Listing Qualification Department of NASDAQ saying that it has finally regained compliance with NASDAQ listing rule 5550A2. Basically it maintained the $1 minimum closing bid price for the last 10 consecutive business days. And so because of that, it's up. People think it's here to stay. It's starting to gap up some. It's up to $2 now, $2.01, starting to spike here in pre-market. And so it basically regained compliance with NASDAQ over the $1 rule. And it's been over $1 on both the bid and the ask for the last 10 days. And so this thing got pumped up and it's staying up. So that's good to see. We'll see if this one moves some. It's spiking now. Another one I'm looking at is SIG, S-I-G. A lot of news out on this one. But basically, the reason this one is because earnings beat the street expectations. And the company backs guidance. So it beat estimates for its fiscal first quarter to May 5th. The company actually said it had a net loss of almost $500 million, or $8.48 a share in the quarter, after earnings of $78.5 million, or $103 a share in the year earlier period. It basically said it's maintaining our full year 2019 guidance and are intensely focused on laying the foundation to support improved performance in the holiday season. The company is still expecting fiscal 2019 same-store sales to be down. Interesting. So this one's up on that news. I'm actually going to look to short this one. It's up so much already. But it did beat the street expectations with those earnings results, even though they were down. And so I guess that's good to see. And it's up a lot. I think it's maybe up, it's up $4, over $4 because of that. So that's interesting to see. I'm definitely more short bias with it. We'll see which way this one goes. I'm moving on to NCS here. Gapping up some, but the volume is really low. All right, so they reported good second quarter results. Sales went up. Gross profit went up as well. The company worked on and replaced its debt structures. Net income was a loss of 5.7 mil for the quarter. And it actually had net income last year in the same quarter. Actually, no, net income went up. Net income per diluted share for the quarter was a loss of 9 cents per share compared to the loss of 24 cents in the second quarter of fiscal 2017. So I guess its loss was smaller than last year. Maybe I read that wrong. But yeah, those are pretty good news for NCS. We'll see how this one continues. Another one I'm looking at is MEIP. Gapping up from 415 to 445. Let's see if this one has any news that's out on it. No news out on MEIP. AMBA is gapping down a significant amount here. I went over this one in my watch list. Hold on one second, guys. I gotta go check something. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Anyways, so the next one I'm looking at is AMBA. You can see this one's gapping down a huge amount here. Let's see. So it is down because it has a weak outlook and Oppenheimer downgrades to perform. So it went down in pre-market Wednesday. It went down in after hours. I don't know if anybody saw this, but I guess it continued to fall in pre-market this morning, but it was already down in after hours. This move right here was in after hours. I went over that yesterday. So basically, the company reported earnings that beat street expectations, but they also put out a weak forecast for the current quarter. So Oppenheimer downgraded the stock to perform from outperform after the report. And he quoted saying he sees less room for error going forward. And so that's ultimately why it's down. Let's see if I can find anything else before this from yesterday, because I know this one gapped down a pretty substantial amount yesterday. Okay, so yeah, it topped. So basically, the quarter one results came out for AMBA, and the results were worse than the street expectations. And so this one gapped down a pretty big amount. We'll see how this one acts. I may think about shorting this one if it breaks this low down here at 43.35. And so we'll see. Another one I'm checking out is CODX. I don't think this one has any news, but this one has been pumped up the last few days. And so let's see if it has anything out. It does. I think this came out yesterday morning. Yeah, nothing really out for CODX right now. It had something that came out yesterday, and that's basically it. So, you know, we actually got a few decent movers today for Wednesday. A lot of times Wednesdays are slow, but today's not too bad. You know, we got AXON gapping up, VBLT, SNES moving right now, breaking over the whole dollar. SIG, SIG gapping up. NCS, MEIP, AMBA gapping down. So we actually got some movement this Wednesday. What's up, dog? Where you been, bro? Did you have your baby, man? We were talking about you earlier. Alright, I'll check it out, Mitch. Hold on, give me a second. My Facebook's acting weird. Hold on, Mitch. I'll try to do it maybe after the stream ends. I'm not sure how to do it. I have to go. Hold on. Let me see. It's not letting me add you. I don't know why. Hold on. Oh, I have to use your channel URL, Mitch. Hold on. Give me a second, man. I'll try to add you real quick. All right, I got it. All right, you should be a mod now, Mitch. There you go. AMD. Yeah. Dog showed up, man. Yeah, man, for sure, Mitch. That's what I'm looking at. For AXON, I'm looking at it to short it. It could push up. I'm going to be very careful with it. I want to see a very, a very set criteria for it to happen at the open, but we'll see. Definitely more short buys with it, up a huge amount. A lot of times these end up failing. There's a few good shorts that I see. Maybe even VBLT down to 2. It all depends. But there's a few I'm looking at. CODX maybe as well. So we'll see how some of these act. You know, most of these are tradable today, so it shouldn't be a too bad of a day. I gotta add. I want to add the VWAP to all of these. Let's see. I've been using the VWAP more and more. Let me see. There we go. So yeah, I'm gonna add the VWAP to my main charts. Good morning, the best. Where'd Dog go, man? He comes in and says something and then rolls out. Alright, so yeah, I want to see AXON break underneath the VWAP before I'm going to consider shorting it. It needs to break under this level. Let's look at the daily. I mean, it's definitely a weak looking chart. You can see it dropped from 27 all the way down to, I remember when this one was 27 too. I think I traded this one when it was way up here a few years ago. But whatever this company is, you know, it dropped from 27 all the way down to 5 and then all the way down to 1. And it barely stayed over 1. But now it's gapping up. What is it at 377? So it's gapping all the way back up to here, but it's got some room up to 480s. You can see got some room up to that level right there, so we'll see. I mean, it could go up, you know. Let's see, it's at 370 now. So yeah, I mean, it's got some room up to the 480s, but it could crash down, so I want to see a break under the VWAP if I'm going to consider shorting it. Good morning, Ant. What's up, man? That legitimately made me laugh, dog. LeBron still sucks, huh? You're still hating on LeBron? I like LeBron, man. Although, I was rooting for Houston, man. I'm kind of bummed out Houston didn't make it. Same old with the NBA Finals this year. So, I haven't even been watching it after the Houston got knocked out. So, Meryl. So, if anybody could help Meryl, so basically, Meryl, the only thing you really have to understand is that when you're shorting, you want the stock to go down. So, like, you see the short button right here? I can pick how many shares I want to short. If I want to short 500 shares or whatever it is, I click the short button, and if the stock drops, I make money. That's really all you need to understand about it. It's kind of like the example I used. If you really want to understand shorting, think about it like if you, whoa, okay, I don't know what fell, but something fell. Anyways, if you want to understand shorting, think about if you borrowed a bag of sugar from somebody for $1, and you thought the price of that bag of sugar would drop. And so you borrow the bag of sugar from somebody from $1, and you immediately sell it to somebody else, and you take that $1 home. Then the cost of sugar drops to 50 cents, and you go buy another bag for 50 cents and return it to the person you borrowed it from, thus profiting that 50 cents. Now, vice versa, if you borrowed a bag of sugar from somebody for $1 and that bag of sugar went up to $1.50, you would have to pay. You buy a bag of sugar from somebody, you sell it, take home the $1, and bag of sugar goes up to $1.50. You have to buy another bag of sugar for $1.50, thus having to pay 50 cents more and losing 50 cents whenever you have to buy another bag to return to them. It may sound complicated, but that's all shorting is, really. It's borrowing shares from somebody. If the price goes up or down, you ultimately pay or profit the difference when returning those shares. Yeah, appreciate it, dog. Good to see you, bro. Randy says LeBron's the GOAT. Let's argue about it. Yeah, we'll see what AXON does, Joseph. It went up to 370, got rejected there. It's got a gap to fill. It could continue going up. It doesn't really have any resistance above it aside from that 371 point until the 480s. And so for that reason, it's a little interesting. We'll see. SNES is another one that I kind of started to watch this morning. You can see SNES gapping up from 185 to 208, so not a huge gap, but it is finally in NASDAQ compliance. And yesterday, you can see this thing rose from 135 all the way up to about 180 during market hours. This is one that was on my watch list from yesterday. It's kind of my favorite swing trading setup. If you look at it, it had this big push during the day. Right before the end of the day, it broke the high of the day, and it had this big volume spike. That's something I usually look for with my swing trades. Although I don't know if this one would have necessarily worked just because they put out that press release this morning, and if that hadn't happened, I don't know what this one would have done. What's up, Matt? Where you been, Matt? I haven't seen you in a while either, bro. Our motto, usually it's just about, it's about your internet speed, our motto. So, is it blurry for anybody else? Let me know if anybody else is seeing it blurry. I'll try to see if I can do anything. But usually it's all about everybody's going to have a different resolution. The best way to do it is to go to your YouTube page and click on the settings icon. Go to the YouTube play page and click the settings icon and just go up to 1080p. So you're watching it in 1080p. That's usually the best way to fix if it's blurry. But yeah, guys, we got 10 minutes until the open. Hopefully we got some good movers today. Still kind of looking around, see if I can find anything decent. I'm just glad I can trade AXON if I need to. Still kind of creeping around though, looking to see if I can find anything. Let's see, ALT. A little bit cheap penny stock, but it's moving some. MBRX. MBRX, guys, I missed this one, but look at MBRX. It's starting to run here. Spiking a little bit, holding over the VWAP. Let's see if I can trade MBRX, but you may want to check out MBRX. I can't trade it, unfortunately, but it's moving some. It's at 215 now, gapping up from 178. And so a decent sized gap. Let me know if you guys see anything else. I don't. SDT looks interesting. I don't think I can trade SDT though. No, I can't trade this one, unfortunately. But it looks interesting as well. MEIP here. This one looks good as well. I think I can trade this one. Let me see. Yeah, I can trade this one, so that's good to see. So yeah, these are probably my 4 biggest watches here. Keep an eye on SIG as well, although it's a little bit more expensive of a stock. Got to be a little patient though, wait for good setups. Nice, Matt. Hey, man. Awesome, bro. So Merrill, so it's the opposite. So if I hit short, it will pick me up shares to short the stock with a short position. The way I cover that position is I actually click buy, because it like my example, I'm buying back those shares. You know, so I buy 500 shares of a stock. Say I short 500 shares of a stock. Whenever I want to get out of that position, I click buy. Buying those shares back covers the stock and effectively exits the position for me. Right. Yeah, I have a bad habit of Mitch asked to become a mod. Hey dog, if you really want to become a mod, you know, I'll let you, dog, if you want to, bro. Just let me know, man. I'll make you a mod too, dog, if you really want to. Yeah, so basically, which one, Joseph? Oh, this one. No, this is TradeNet on the left. Just anything. I mean, sometimes I use the bid, sometimes I use the ask. Most of the time, I use the bid when I'm shorting, and when I'm going long, I use the ask. But yeah, shorting it, all you really have to understand about it is that when you short a stock, you want it to go down. If it goes down, you profit. If it goes up, you lose money. You know, a lot of brokers won't have a short button. They'll just have a sell button. And so you just click sell. If you have no position already, you just click sell. And then to exit the position, you click buy. But yeah, basically all you really need to know is that sometimes you're going to have to locate shorts. Like sometimes there's not going to be shorts available. And usually shorting stocks is the people have to be able to loan those shares out for you to short. Most of the time it's long-term investors that don't mind if the stock goes up or down on any day for a short period of time, because they're long-term investors and they're looking to hold it for years and years. And so those are usually the people that are loaning your shares to short. But sometimes you have to locate shares to short. With my case, with TradeNet, which is CFD trading, I really don't have to do that. But with a regular broker, you know, you have to locate shares to short, and sometimes you have to pay a little bit of a finder's fee for your broker to locate those shares to short for you. And so you'll have to pay a little extra on top of, however much your shares are going to cost for your broker to find shares to short. And then sometimes there's just not going to be anybody with shares to short, and so you're not going to be able to short it at all. The bitter rivalry, Mitch and Dog. All right, guys, the market opens up in... Does anybody see my clock on Thinkorswim? Look at my clock up here. Weird. I don't like that. My clock is completely off. Whatever. Anyways, we got 3 minutes until the opens, guys. I'm going to go ahead and save this and then restart Thinkorswim if I have time. Man, I gotta hurry. Alright guys, I gotta restart my Thinkorswim because the timing is off. I'm just hoping I can do it before the market opens. Come on, come on, come on. Man, I'm kind of bummed. I don't get into anything when the open originally happens anyway. I usually wait a few minutes. Alright, so I should have a little bit of time here. What's up, guys? If you're just now joining us, I'm just restarting Thinkorswim. Yeah, Sonic is our friendly neighborhood troll. But lately, I don't know. I think something's been wrong with Sonic. He's been very serious lately. Who knows? Alright, Thinkorswim's back up. There we go. Alright. So I got Thinkorswim up before the market opened, and my timing's fixed now. So we got less than a minute, guys. Right, for sure, man. Everybody's hiding in the corner, man. They wait for us to talk. Yeah, look at Sig, man. Sig's bouncing here some more. It's up to 50 now. All right, guys. Market opens up in 10 seconds. Riding the VWAP as well. So good luck, guys. All right, there's the bell. Sorry. All right, so AXON pushing up some. Sorry, guys. I don't know what. I think maybe my internet's having problems. I don't know. So sorry if you're getting a little bit of lag here. It's probably just because I restarted Thinkorswim. It's taking up a lot of memory. So give me a second. AXON dropping down some here. We'll see if SNES can keep finding support at this $2 level right here. There goes AXON dropping down around the VWAP area. So this looks interesting for AXON. If it breaks underneath the VWAP, I may consider shorting it eventually. Gonna give it some time though. AMBA starting to drop here. If it breaks under 43.35, it looks interesting for a short at under this low. And VBLT, we'll see how it acts at 250. I don't know if it has as much room as some of these other ones though. VWAP stands for volume weighted average price. It just acts as a big support and resistance line basically. Like you can see, AXON has been riding the VWAP, and you can see it came down and touched right at that VWAP area at 336. All right, so SNES breaking over the pre-market high. Big spike here on SNES. AXON dropping down to that 350 level and under it. The big VWAP area is the important part with it. Also, AMBA is breaking under these lows right here. I'm going to let a little bit more time go by so that it's not as kind of crazy. I'm going to let everything kind of settle down before I jump in anything. But AMBA dropping down to this low here. Yeah, no worry surfing. All right, AXON dropping down to 344, 340. Looking more interesting as time goes by. Breaking under those lows here. There's the low of the day break and the VWAP break with AXON. I'm going to wait for a bounce and a VWAP test here. See if it can hold underneath that VWAP area. SIG ended up pushing up. I was thinking about shorting SIG, but that thing just went crazy. If you look at SIG here, this thing is still heading up in a pretty big way. AMBA testing these lows. Trying to break under these lows right here. Here's the low break. Alright, so here's a bounce on AXON. It's still holding over that VWAP, so until it breaks underneath there, I'm not going to toy with it. AMBA breaking under these lows still at 43.13 now. Looks interesting for a short. Big bounce on AMBA. Fake people out. Glad I didn't jump in that one. Alright, so I'm in AXON with 40 shares with this low of the day break. It broke under the VWAP again. If it bounces over the VWAP, I'll just get out for a small loss. Just testing it again. I want to see that VWAP area hold as resistance. And it may not be here. Quick bounce. Yeah, I'm out. 720 loss. Man, Wednesdays are never good for me. And maybe I should be like Mitch and just not trade them. But man, this week has been tough. Last week I had a really good week. I only had one losing day. But this week, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm being a little impatient. But who knows? Maybe I just have a lot to work on as a trader. Or honestly, I think I'm so scared of losing that it kind of hurts my it hurts my thinking in the trades. I'm just worried this one's gonna break this 350. I want to see it hold under the VWAP, and it just wasn't doing that. Really, I think a better entry would have been to wait for this bounce. It's just got a lot of down wicks. The only thing is like it's holding over the VWAP, so we'll see. A and BA, you know, maybe I should have taken this short. I was thinking about it, breaking this low here. BLNK continues to drop. Yeah, I just shorted. Correct, Mayo. Yeah, this is the thing. Like the market changes, and a lot of times shorting it at the low of the day works. But you know, I even talked about this yesterday. The better way to do it is to wait for that previous support to turn into resistance. And in this case, I just didn't do it. I took a small loss because of it, which is okay. But the better thing to do is to wait for that previous support to turn into resistance first. And I may think about getting into this one. I think I was a little early with it. But the better way to do it is to wait for that previous support to turn into resistance. So it had some at 350, and we'll see if it continues heading down here. I want to see it break underneath that VWAP area first, though. Right, that's what I was thinking, Mitch. As soon as I got out of it, I was thinking I should have let it test 350 at least. Because here's the drop that I was ultimately looking for. And if it continues to hold that VWAP area as support or as resistance, then I'll reconsider it. But gonna let it test here. You can see VBLT starting to make a comeback here. We'll see if this one can break those highs. Also, AMBA holding that previous support as resistance looks interesting as well. See if we get a bounce here. I may add to this bounce on AXON. But yeah, I should have just held through it. That's one of my biggest mistakes, is that I sell too early. I get kind of spooked out of the trade. I gotta learn to get into the positions on the dips. I think that would ultimately be a little bit better risk wise than buying it at the low of the day break. I think that is something I need to work on for sure. Is getting into the position on the pullbacks instead of at the low of the day at the breakout point. Getting into them on the pullbacks I think is a much safer strategy. And so that's something I'm going to work on, because if I got in on this pullback at 350, I would be up 10 cents already. And so I think that's something that I need to try to implement more often. I think that's a better route to take. And so I think from now on, I'm either going to try to wait for the pullback or just not get into it at the low of the day break. AMBA here, trying to break under this low. If it breaks under 42.50, I'll consider it. Yeah, glad I didn't jump back in this one. But another pattern I've been noticing is that right, for sure. I mean, it looks like it was heading down, but there's a lot of up wicks and down wicks in either direction. Another pattern I've been noticing. All right, so here's SIG starting to fall. Another pattern I've been noticing is I have one good week, one bad week, one good week, one bad week. And so that's something else I've been noticing about myself. And I think that's something I should probably try to figure out, is that some weeks I do really well, some weeks I do really poorly. And it's kind of takes turns. Like last week was really good. I had 3 out of 4 profitable days. And this week I've had, 2 bad days so far. And depending on how today goes, it may be another one. So we'll see. But very strange. Watching SIG here as well. This one went all the way up to 53.66. All right, so here's a washout long on AXON. I don't really like to get into it now just because I was already short biased with it, and so I don't want it to sway my decisions, but it just broke the high of the day. It's got a lot of a downward room here, so it's not a good risk reward trade at this point, but it looks interesting. What's up, Jonathan? What's up, man? VX or VKTX7. All right, so VBLT is trying to break over this high as well at 480 or at 280 right here. Just crossed over the VWAP. Might be a good 1-minute pullback for AXON here. Right now I'm watching AMBA though. If it breaks this low, I might jump in. Might want to wait for it to hold that previous supporter's resistance first, but it's looking weak for AMBA. Appreciate it, Sec. Welcome, man. Appreciate it. Alright, so I'm watching AMBA really closely here. It's testing the $half area. If it breaks under there, I may consider shorting it. It's really fighting here at this $half. I'm looking at the bottom right chart. Really fighting here. Huge, huge bid on the ask. All right, there's the break under the $half. I'm gonna wait for a pullback for it to test that $half area before I jump in, because I'm worried this is gonna happen. Glad I didn't jump in, because a lot of times this will happen, is that it drops under it for a split second, kind of fakes you out, and then continues pushing up. So yeah, this thing just bounced 50 cents or 30 cents really quickly. We'll see if SIG can hold over this VWAP area. If not, I may think about shorting it under these lows right here at $50. Yeah, I like CODX as well, Mitch. Here's VBLT breaking over those highs of the day. It's got a little bit of resistance at 290, and so I'll wait. But CODX or AXON is flagging some here. It looks like a little flag pattern, so we'll see if it continues to find some support there. It may have some resistance at 4, but if it starts to run, it has some room until the 480s. Yeah, VKTX is running up as well from 925 to almost 10 right now. Hey, good call, Joseph. Hey, you called the right side of it thus far, man. AMBA pushing up, like bouncing off of the VWAP here. Break it over it for a second. Here goes VBLT. That's a 5-cent spreader. I don't like those stocks. All right, so you can see AMBA bouncing off of this VWAP area, and then you can also see SIG here, kind of stuck in between these two support and resistance lines. So I'm watching both of those. KTOV salty. Yeah, look at KTOV, guys. This one's on a run. ZTO. Yeah, ZTO's running as well. All right, so here's SIG breaking under, or trying to break under this support level right here. I think it may run into some at 50. Yeah, AXON's just kind of going sideways, but it's flagging a little bit, especially if it breaks 390 here. But yeah, I think I got to work it. I think Mitch said it yesterday, but yeah, CODX. Are you looking at this one for a short, Mitch? But yeah, I think summertime trading is much better suited to buying dips and buying pullbacks instead of low of the day breaks, just because when the momentum's not there as much, buying on pullbacks and dips is just ultimately a better risk reward trade, and I think I might need to kind of swing my trading style more that way. CODX may get under the whole dollar here. Yeah, the spread's just bad on CODX. The ask is at 508. And so that's the only thing kind of keeping me from wanting to get involved with it. But hey, man, look, the spread just cleared up. I hope it drops for you, Mitch. Spread got much better. It's only a 1-cent spread now, and it's sitting right at the whole dollar. All right, so ZTO starting to push up, maybe break this 2150 level. Ooh, there's a good drop, Mitch. All right, so I'm still watching SIG here. This one went all the way from 53.66 down to the 50s. Huge range though, so really tough to pick a good shear size with this one, but maybe get in with a small shear size and let it work. So there's the break on ZTO, and CODX is sitting at 490 now. All right, so there's the break on AXON as well. All right, so AXON bouncing up here, breaking the high of the day. It's at 393. This may be a good time to buy CODX. I don't know though, or not buy, to short it into this pop right here. So there goes AXON breaking the highs up to 405 now. Right, for sure. For sure, Randy. All right, so right now I'm watching SIG here. If it can crack under 50, I'll consider it. Maybe buy into a pop. And ZTO breaking those highs here. CODX breaking right back over 5. AXON at 415. Gonna try to be a little bit more patient though with some of these. I think I jumped in a little bit too early. I had set rules for myself that I can't get into a position until 10 minutes after the open, but I've been breaking them lately, so maybe I should stick back to that. And I also think I should buy into more dips so I can exit quickly for relatively break-even trades. I think that's the smarter way to be with it. All right, so AXON up to 420s now. Let's look and see what else is moving. KTOV and B at VSN. BVSN looks interesting. I think it's probably done, but nice low of the day break on BVSN. Huge range though, so kind of a scary range from 250 to 210 in just one little tick here. ACET. Look at ACET, guys. This one's been following the VWAP all morning, breaking over the high of the day. The VWAP's also right around that 350 level. But look at the spread on BVSN. For that reason, I'm not toying with this one. MEIP was another one I was watching today. And this one start running. It's at 481. ACET is not tradable, unfortunately. So AMBA continues to find some resistance at the VWAP. We'll see. I don't know how I feel about this one. SNES. What did SNES end up doing? Super choppy with SNES. Gonna keep an eye on this one, put it on my other monitor. Maybe try to get a small share size with AMBA. See if it continues to hold that VWAP area support or as resistance. Spread's getting a little gnarly with it. We'll see. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. VKTX having a big pullback. Still watching AMBA here. The 5-minute looks decent as well as the 1-minute. So if it breaks under this 42.50 level, I'll consider shorting it. MEIP trying to break the high of the day here. There's the high of the day break on MEIP up to 489. Alright, so I think I'm in this one. No, I'm not. Thinking about shorting AMBA here. Gonna give it some time. Quick bounce. The 5-minute just looks weak for AMBA. Gonna see how it acts here though. Bouncing up. It may bounce off the VWAP here a few times. So gonna let that work first. AXON pushing up, breaking the high of the day here. AXON still pushing up here up to 445. Like I said in pre-market, this one has room up until the 480s, and so we'll see if it continues to work. All right, so I'm finally in AMBA with 10 shares. I tried to get in on the bounce. We'll see though if it continues to work for me. I'll let it work until the VWAP area and see if it can crack under there. Small share size, looking for it to ultimately continue falling, break that low. There's a crack under that low, but it immediately bounced right back to 42.90s. But the 5-minute setup looks good, and this one had bad news for it, so hopefully it'll continue falling for me, but if not, small enough share size to where it shouldn't affect me too much. Big drop in MEIP. Yeah, we'll see if CODX continues to find some resistance at 5. Yeah, AXON. I mean, that thing just took off after it broke this high of the day. That's why washout long setups should be one of my favorite setups. They've been pretty reliable in this market as well, and I should have just taken advantage of them, but I've been paying more attention to shorts, which may be my downfall here. We'll see. Of course, a big spike in AMBA. Man, my trading has just been hard lately. I don't know what it is. Extremely tough to get any good gains in this market right now, at least for me. Been super difficult. Last week was good. This week has just been terrible. And so I'll let it test the VWAP like I said, which was my original plan. The 5-minute still looks good, especially if it keeps getting rejected at that VWAP. Especially with how weak this stock looked, but it's been tough. Another big upwick for AMBA, so it's looking weak, but still VWAP area has been holding strong resistance there. Ultimately, we see if it'll break the low of the day eventually. The SPY's looking bad. Man, the SPY is looking rough. Gnarly crash on the SPY, man. I mean, the SPY's having a little bit of a pullback here, but it's been looking rough, like people are saying. Look at the SPY today. Regardless, I know I'm a day trader, but I always want to see the SPY up. Alright, so there's the drop I was finally looking for with AMBA. We'll see if it can crack under these lows here. Like I said, the 5-minute chart is really what I've been paying attention to with AMBA. I'm looking at the 1 minute on my other monitor. It's not looking too bad. We'll see if it can crack these lows here. Down to the 50s. At least I have a little bit more wiggle room in this thing now. A little bit more room to breathe if it does end up spiking back. Yeah, we'll see how AXON does here. It needs to find some support here if it's going to continue heading up at this 525 level, the $quarter point. But yeah, we're definitely in summer trading. Summer trading is always pretty kind of slow, choppy, not too much good action. Alright, so we'll see if AMBA can crack under these lows here. It's getting close. Getting very close. See if it'll tank once it does. But it may find some support here. It's getting close here. AXON breaking under that 425 level. We'll see if it continues to hold here or if it breaks back over it. The only thing I'm really worried about AMBA is that it's going to squeeze shorts out if it does end up cracking under. I mean, it looks weak. It continues to test this $0.50 level, but I'm worried if it does spike, it's going to squeeze some of these shorts out, and everybody's going to start covering really quickly for a big bounce fast. We'll see. I've got a little bit of room in it to just hold and wait, but the SPY's rebounding as well, so we'll see if it starts to follow the SPY. Yeah, AXON still consolidating around this 425 level, sitting right there now at 425. It's kind of the make or break point for it. It could be dipping here for a flag, but it has to hold over this 425 level. There's a drop in AMBA. So it's over that 425 point now. It's at 426. We'll see how it acts right here. Yeah, I don't think I can trade AGMH, Eric. I don't think I can. Let me see. AGMH big spike. I don't think I can trade it. I can see though. Oh, I can trade AGMH. I didn't know that. Need some more volume. The volume's still pretty low, even though it had this huge $1.50 spike right there. The volume's still ultimately pretty low. Alright, so there's a big drop in AMBA here down to the 440s, but it has support there, so it has to break under 42.40. And so I'm going to give it time, see if it can break that. If not, I mean, I can get out for a relatively small loss. Quick bounce back down to 450s. It's testing it now, but it's bouncing quickly. It's kind of the make or break level for it as well. The low of the day here, the full low of the day is at 42.40. And so it's got to break underneath that if it's going to continue. Getting close to that area now. See if we can crack under 42.40. It's bouncing back and forth between 42.50s and 42.40s. Looks like it really wants to crack. Let's see if we can get under there. ARQL. I know that's a previous runner as well. Let me see. Yeah, ARQL had this nice 1 minute pullback. Alright, so let's see if AMBA can get under that 42.40 level. It's at 42.43 now. Yeah, there's the fucking squeeze. Oh, sorry for cursing, guys. But there's the squeeze I was anticipating. We'll see if it drops right back down. I've got a little bit of room. But yeah, this is the squeeze I was worried about. I mean, I'll let it test, but I was kind of worried about this squeeze back up. Yeah, there's the squeeze. I'll let it test 43 and then jump out for a small loss. AXON just couldn't hold over that 42 or that $quarter mark. Yeah. Yeah, I try not to curse in my streams. Sometimes a move kind of aggravates me, so I might let one out. The good news with this one is that I had a little bit of room, and so I can get out for a tiny loss if it didn't go my way. Which that's because I bought on a pullback instead of buying at the low of the day break. If I would have bought at this low, it would have been a much worse trade. No, I still haven't heard back from him, Eric. Yeah, I don't know what happened that day. I still haven't heard back. I'll let you guys know when I do. Hopefully, they compensate me for that uh, trade that shouldn't have been. That trade it automatically exited me out of. Hopefully, they'll compensate for me. I'm not super confident they will, though. Quick bounce in AMBA. BLNK is looking weak as well. If you look at BLNK here, it's breaking under these lows here, testing 6, the whole dollar. I'm going to try to give AMBA a little bit of time to get back down, break those lows here. It's kind of pulling back again. All right, so it's back down to 4260s, 4250s for AMBA. Still giving it some time here. I've got a little bit of room to let it work, so I'll let it test these areas. Back up to the 4280s. CODX still looking weak though. It's down to 485. Nice, Jay. Good trade, bro. Awesome gain. 22%. That's a good gain, man. Congrats. Nice trade, bro. Alright, so here goes A and BA testing 43, and I'm out for a... What? No. I don't know why I didn't exit the first time I tried to get out. Testing the VWAP, that's what I'm letting it test now, but probably going to jump out pretty quickly here. There goes BLNK breaking under the whole dollar of 6 from 597. Why won't it let me out of this trade, man? Oh, I had something on the limit price. Testing the VWAP now. That's ultimately what I'm waiting for, but as time goes by, I'm losing confidence in it. Yeah, there goes BLNK continuing to fall down to 577. You can also see AXON testing that previous level we were watching. Alright, so there's the VWAP break. I'm just going to get out for a small loss on AMBA. Broke over this VWAP here. I'm out. So yeah, guys, I think I'm done for the day. Yeah, I ended up getting out, Atheon. Yeah, man, I don't know what's going on this week. It's been a tough week. I've noticed something, though. There's like a pattern here. So one week I have really good trades. Like, for instance, last week, 3 out of 4 days were profitable. And then this week I've had 3 losing days. And so it kind of bounces back and forth. I don't know why. Maybe it's my trading. Maybe it has something to do with the market in general. But I got to figure that out. Maybe I shouldn't have traded today. It's Wednesday. So Wednesdays have historically been my worst day. But, you know, like I said, I'm a new trader. I'm not an expert or anything like that. Not trying to act like an expert. I just got to work on my trading a little bit. Yeah, last week was a great week. This week has not been great at all. So I got to figure something out. I think I need to start working on possibly buying dips more instead of low of the day breaks. So like, for instance, my biggest loss today was on AXON, getting in here at the low of the day break, where if I would have bought at this dip at 350 on this pullback, you know, I would have had a little bit more room to exit for a much smaller loss, and it may still have been a losing trade. But I think if I buy on pullbacks and dips as opposed to buying on low of the day breaks, I think that'll ultimately give me a little bit better results. Another frustrating thing, AMBA immediately drops back down to 42.85. They were just getting people like me out. Market makers were just throwing people like me out of this thing. So frustrating, but you know, it happens. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close the stream down now. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. If you want to watch me day trade live every weekday morning, win or lose, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I start at 8:45 a.m. and I stream until about 10:15 or 10:30 market time. So make sure you join us tomorrow. If you want to do me a favor, help me feel better about today's losing day, hit the like button right now in this video. It definitely helps support us, and I appreciate any support I can get. So if you want to do me a favor, click the like button right now, and I appreciate it if you do. And yeah, guys, that's it for the day. I'm going to go ahead and close the stream down now. And yeah, have a good day, guys. Thanks for watching.